All right, bud, we're live. Yo, hey, everybody.
Hey, what's Yo, what's
Welcome
up?
to Discourse Syndicate. RG3, Litecoin Moses here with me. We're waiting on Hexo to show up. He just got the link. I assumed he had it.
Yeah, that's very important.
I know. He's the man, so I figured he just got everything handled, right?
Yeah. I only see two of us on the screen right now.
Yeah. I got the other guys that are in the lobby waiting right now, and see if I can get Hexo up here and get this thing kicked off.
Cool.
So heck of a day in crypto, huh?
Yeah, man. Shit, we're up like a full fucking grand on Bitcoin, man.
Man,
that's good for the whole. That's good for everything. That's good for the whole ecosystem. That's a lot of extra money in the system now.
Yeah, the market cap is exploding. I'm sure we'll talk about that a little bit today too. And
yeah,
we got a ton coming into market cap and the whole system. And let's see who we got over here in chat real quick. Oh, I see. We got somebody. Okay. Oh wait, he says. Oh, there he is. You were down there on the.
I was doing this. I was like, guys.
What's funny is if you go more than four guys, it drops you down below, so I can't see you.
Oh, geez, that sounds like a party right there.
Yes.
More than four guys, you get down below.
You were up underneath all of us.
Oh no.
I don't know.
Wait, are we live? Are we live?
We're live. Sorry,
Yeah, we're
Bob.
live. Yeah. He's like, I'm no power bottom.
Needed. This is Hexologist. You're my glasses.
Okay.
It is hot in here, man. I am like, my glasses are steaming up. It's getting so damn hot in here.
Yeah, it gets hot. Like streaming, people don't realize that it gets super hot.
Yeah, and the lights and everything else. Man.
I'm starting to go through hexapause.
Shit, man, I'm already dried up, bros. I'm beyond that.
Oh no.
Oh, there we go.
All right, we was just getting things kicked off, so everybody knows who you are. No introduction is needed. This is the man, the myth, the legend, the guy of Hex Crypto, Hexologist. What's up, buddy?
Welcome. Hello, everybody. Litecoin Moses. Hello, bro. How's it going?
You guys have been missing
for
a couple of shows, man. I've had to go solo on this thing, man.
Yeah. It's
sorry about that.
You gotta take over
life stuff, man.
Yeah.
I know, I get it. The chat room's telling me to shut up. You know, they don't want to hear me. They want to hear everybody else. So I'm going to try and keep it a little quieter for everybody. But so we got two guests on today. Two other guys that are known throughout the Hex community. We got Ryan Lopez, who has his own YouTube show, and we got Talk Hex. They're going to both join us here in a quick second. Anything going on in the chat room yet? Anything exciting? Timing?
No, don't look like it.
Yo, just a bunch of what's ups.
What's up, Diego?
Right on. Well, I'm going to get it kicked off here, and I'm going to bring our boys up. But I want to show something real quick. I told everybody that this show is for the Hex community. We're going to bring people on every week. It'll be the three of us or two of us or one of us or whatever hosting it, and then we'll bring some people from the Hex community in so everybody can get to know them, know who we are, why we're in crypto, why we're in Hex, why we believe in it, what we know about it, ask some questions, answer some questions, take some stuff from the chat room, and even Richard has jumped in last stream. He jumped in the chat room. And who knows, he may even pop in sometime. So that's what this channel is for all the Hex community to actually get out there and do something. But what I wanted to show real quick is so we're all starting to support each other. It's a really cool community. We're all coming together. There's no, I'm better than this guy or I'm better than that guy. I mean, first of all, on YouTube, we've got Hexologist. He's got the #1 Hex crypto show to date because he gives us daily updates and just has a fun show, and everybody gets on there and supports it. So on top of that, we've got who was with us last week. We got Crypto Coffee, Timothy Benjamin. He does some YouTube videos. Of course, the cat we got on with us today, Ryan Lopez. Want to shout out to my boy Bitcoin for Life. I'm hoping that he's going to come on the show with us maybe in another week or so. He's cool and funny as hell, man. If you get a chance, go watch his show. And then we've got Hex World. He's a little new to me, but I see him out there working hard in the YouTube. And then of course Huddle Dog with his ASMR show. I mean, it's like very audio pleasing to everyone. And then we got Number of Things. That cat's pretty cool too. He's funny, and he does a good job out there, and talking charts and dApps and stuff. So, but I just want to shout out to all the other YouTubers out there that are supporting Hex. And then anybody else got anything before I bring the fellers up?
Nope.
What color Lambo are you guys getting?
I don't want a Lambo, dude. Fucking Lambos suck.
Oh, I forgot you like the Tesla truck. My bad.
That thing too, man. You know what? You guys on the chat, man, with your Lambo truck, or I mean your freaking Tesla truck. I don't know, man. That thing is hideous. I mean, I understand it's
It's pretty gross looking.
hex shaped and all, and color it hex or whatever. But whatever, man.
I'd rather get the Lamborghini Urus if I were to get any other Lamborghini, because you can't really even drive it. Like, if anyone who's actually had like a Lambo and stuff, like you can't drive it around a lot, dude. You'll break it.
Yeah, I'm a Porsche guy, man.
Driver.
I'm a Porsche guy. I'm gonna give me a Porsche and stay in my 23 window microbus, hang out in that all the time.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy my family a nice Honda Odyssey. A nice minivan. A nice minivan for the family.
You're probably gonna get like the STR8 fucking Durango watch after you're like, oh no, hell, 600 horsepower to the wheels, baby. Yes. Take the whole family on the trip.
Right on. Well, hey, let's bring the fellas up. They're just sitting back there waiting patiently. Where are we all at? There we go.
What's
Up,
hey,
What's up, Ryan?
what's up, guys?
What's up, dude?
Hey, how's it going?
Hey.
No one wants a Jag then? I'm getting a Jag. First thing I'm in.
Jaguar? Nice, dude.
Yeah.
That's a Euro thing, right?
Yeah, it's like
Huh?
That's a Euro thing, right? Wanting a Jag?
Yeah, but it's kind of like muscle car, so I don't know why.
oh geez, I'm getting there we go. There we go.
What's that?
Oh, I had some I had my other chat window open so I could hear like 30 of them for 30 people talking at once.
I'm gonna get tricked out fucking DeLorean, really. I'm thinking about it.
That'd be sick. That'd be pretty sick.
Drive that dude, it just, no matter where you go, you have a tricked out DeLorean looking like a time machine, man. You're fucking styling anywhere you go in the world.
That is true.
What is it with that? My son wants one of those. He's like, "Hey, Dad, you know what this car is?" Like, hell yeah, I know what that car is, man. Yeah, he wants a DeLorean. I was like, that's just that was 80s, guys. That was in my era.
Well,
but you got to rip out the motor on those cars. They have such low horsepower. It's such you have to put some, probably like an LS3 or some kind of engine to fit in there.
Well, they were garbage. I mean, the whole thing was a front. It was a big front back in the days.
It was like a scam or something like that.
Well, he was a big coke dealer, and he was just using it as a front to launder his money. Then he got caught, and that was the end of it. And then it made that car real famous, and then of course Back to the Future made it even more famous. Big stainless steel ass car, crazy.
Yeah.
So what's up, fellas?
Just here, trapped in house arrest.
All of us.
Mandatory house arrest. Yes.
Mandatory house arrest.
It's blowing up out here in Cali. People are going back outside again. They're hitting the beaches. Newport Beach is all pulled up. I mean, it's
pregnancies are up like crazy. It's out the street. You're not supposed to be outside, and everyone here in California is outside, fucking walking and jogging, breathing hard.
Can't even go outside.
You're not supposed to go outside, really. I mean,
But they're doing it. I guess that video, those two doctors said, "Oh, everything's cool, man. You no need to worry." And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, "Oh, okay, cool. We're all outside now."
Yeah, I saw that video was going pretty viral.
It did.
Yeah,
it went absolutely nuts.
Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, and it sounds like they're speculating, and their numbers look kind of funk. And come on, man, this thing ain't over yet. You need to start putting people out there already. I mean, all these people are still dying, and now they're going to stick them in back in the food plants. I mean,
Yeah, it seems like it's just getting crazy everywhere. You know, right now I'm down here in Mexico and everything's closed down here. I think it's just like in the whole world. You know, it's just everything's kind of shutting down. It's just really crazy times.
Yep. Not for Hex. Not for Hex.
Not for Hex. Not for Hex.
Who cares about all that stuff? Let's talk
All
about
time
Hex.
highs. Let's go.
We kept talking about this COVID thing and just everyone's just getting sadder and sadder and sadder. It's like,
Yeah.
But really, everybody's excited as shit.
Yeah, I don't know what everyone else in isolation does. Like, all I do is look at the chart.
No. What are some of your guys' like price predictions for the end of year?
Shit, here we go. Here we go.
Here we go.
If you had to get,
Ryan, dude, you just got on the show, man. Fucking price predictions.
I'm gonna go. Not financial advice. No financial advice here, guys. 10 cents.
Not financial advice. Well, we talking about Hex or Bitcoin?
The tie waggle.
Hex.
Oh, Hex. Okay. It probably has a lot to do with just like what the supply, like how much people are staking. Because like right now we have like 25% staked and then 75% unstaked. So the price, the price is going to have trouble. I think it's going to go up a lot, but it's going to have trouble going to multiple cents if more people don't start staking some of that large supply that's unstaked. Essentially, that's what I think.
Yeah.
But
well, there'll definitely be more volatility, but
yeah, it's more volatility. Yeah. Me and Hex, not me and Hex, so me and RG3 were kind of talking about that before the show a little bit about some of the supply and everything. What I think is going to happen, but I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts. I mean, for sure we're going to hit a couple pennies. I'm just not sure how much.
Yeah. What we think before or after the big payday? Is that what
before? Oh, before. Yeah, we'll hit
before.
Yeah, because it's only I think it's only a 4x to hit a penny, so doesn't seem crazy.
I think 2 or 3 pennies could be like, I think that.
Yeah.
Have you guys seen that the one guy, I think his name's Adrian, like Iceland or something?
Yeah, he's good, yeah.
Some of his recent, I watched one of his recent ones and he was going over like price predictions for the end of year.
No, man,
and he was going through kind of what he and his like analysis in his head of what he thinks this and that, and his reasoning it seemed pretty good. And he said that he thinks like end of year, it could really, surprise a lot of people. Maybe around 20 cents. That's what he said.
Yeah, he overlaid the Hex chart on the Bitcoin chart from 2010, and it's following it really closely.
Really?
And I think he projected like 96 billion market cap by the end of the year.
Something like that.
Jeez.
96, but that's not that bad though. Right now, what Bitcoin's at like probably 150 billion. So I think we can pass Bitcoin. Maybe not this year, but definitely in the future.
I think.
Number one, I think, and I think very soon. Well, hopefully, XRP. I think we could definitely pass them up. And I was just I was looking at their price chart. And if you look at in 2017 or in the beginning of 2018, when they had their all-time high when XRP hit $3. Their market cap was over 130 billion. So I mean, I think Hex is farly superior than XRP. So why can't Hex surpass 130 billion?
Yep.
Yeah, a lot of it has to do with the market cap of Bitcoin is as long as Bitcoin's going up. And then we finally get a part of Bitcoin where it kind of stabilizes for a couple of weeks at around the same price. That's when the money kind of flows into alts, essentially. So we'll get probably a big dump into ETH, and then the ETH price will go up. And then when that stabilizes, then the RC20 tokens, which Hex is one, money will start flowing into that. But everything across as well. But it's going to be different percentages gained. Like everything's going to go good. Like the rising boat rises everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the rising tide or whatever.
What are your guys' thoughts on like a coin ever flipping Bitcoin? Like, I guess for right now the main one would be Ethereum. I mean, do you guys think it's going to happen soon or?
Yeah, I think it'll happen next bull run. Yeah, sure.
Yeah, I do too.
I think DeFi is too big.
Yeah, you guys are asking for trouble, man.
Yeah, we can't. Bitcoin's just, if you've ever used Bitcoin, you'll realize that you don't want to use Bitcoin.
you think people think Hex guys are crazy now. You guys start talking shit like that, and it's going to be crazy, man. They're going to be knocking on your fucking door and shit.
Well, it's true. It's so true. Like you use Ethereum one time. You use Ethereum one time.
Head in the clouds.
That goes like 1 second instead of 20, 30 minutes. And then like worrying the whole time if your money actually got sent to the right address and stuff. Instead, you can see it within seconds on another transaction or anything else.
2017 was freaking crazy. Like, it was just so bad trying to use these exchanges that are getting hacked, going down, waiting hours for your transaction to appear.
Yeah,
I'm so happy we're past that point.
Yeah. But even Coinbase today is lagging out. Like, some people are having trouble talking to a Coinbase because how many people were like trying to buy up people were trying to buy Bitcoin since it was going up.
Well, Wire went
buy
down
high,
too.
sell low,
Wire went down too. I've got an email into them. I haven't heard an answer back, but at first, I heard about it, so I jumped on my MetaMask, opened up Wire, boom, bought some ETH like that. Boom, it was there. Swapped it for some HEX. I mean, it was like the coolest thing ever. I was like, oh shit, this is badass. And then tried to do it again, and I haven't been able to since. So it's down. And I called my bank and said, hey, are you guys throttling this transaction that's going through? You guys stopping it? And they said, no, it's not us. They're actually stopping it. So for some reason, I don't know if it's their networks going, getting hammered or what, but they shut it down. I'm not able to get anything. They have another, you can go to their main site and do KYC and get in that way. But I said, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah. I think Uniswap, it's really going to be big here going forward.
Yeah.
It's
just a lot of people have even used it yet, or even know of it.
Yeah, it's still so new, but like I feel so much more confident, so much more secure when I use it. There's no counterparty risk. The exchange isn't going to go down. They're not going to get hacked. It's just like I feel so safe.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
And you can use it to buy other coins too. Like, I was buying Mana with it for the first time to try it out, and it was like, oh shit, this worked perfect.
What's the liquidity?
Like, oh, cool.
What's the liquidity like on those coins? Like, do you get more slippage or something?
No, I mean, dude, you don't get slippage unless you're buying a shit ton. I mean, but I think there's about there's only 800K of ETH in the Mana one, like, which is not a lot, But if you're just buying like a couple $100 just to try it out, it's okay essentially. But if you're buying like tens of thousands, 100,000. I mean, go ahead. Sorry.
What exactly is Mana? I think I heard of that one before. That's MANA, right? Is that what it is?
Yeah, it's just a coin for a game.
Okay, yeah, I think I saw it. I think I saw that before. Yeah. There's some crazy stuff on the Uniswap. Like, they have the Unisocks. I'm sure you guys have seen that. They had that one guy who was doing that like T-shirt promo thing before. What was it called? Like Saint Fame. I don't know if you guys saw that one. Where it's like Uniswap has a really weird like kind of algorithm thing, or how it's like on a bonding curve how the price is formed, and it's just like it's really kind of interesting to kind of I was I was trying to kind of really kind of study how the price is formed and everything, but it's so complex, and I'm just like, man, this is crazy.
Yeah. I mean,
Uniswap
Uniswap, yeah. It's just like it's like its own new like just it's in its own realm.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
It's your crypto whoopee.
So Uniswap solves liquidity for small.
By the way, we got almost $15 million of liquidity in Uniswap right now. 14,834,000 Ethereum.
Damn.
Which is by far the
number one.
Number one by far.
Number one, let's go.
So Curve S is number 2, which I didn't even know.
There's some weird coins on Uniswap. Like when I was looking at the list, I'm like, what are these ones? Like ETH, and like who even uses those?
Yeah, I don't know.
I know, and that's why I don't understand why Hex isn't, locked in there where you can just go to it and you got to.
Yeah, that's because they hate the guy that made Uniswap doesn't like Hex.
He should be loving it.
He should, but he doesn't like it.
Yeah, look at it. Look at all of his transaction fees he's getting.
Yeah.
And the charts that Firebun made, right? He made them for every other Uniswap pair, and they didn't have proper charts for Uniswap, and they're still gatekeeping us. It's insane.
Yeah.
Dude, it's crazy. I feel like that first month, and even before the first month of the launch, there's just so much FUD. It was like the hardest FUD I've ever seen for any crypto.
I remember Ryan
like
being
the
there,
hardest FUD.
It's insane.
I was like, oh my God. Like if I wasn't in crypto for the past 2 years prior and been in some weird kind of like really high risk coins and went through different FUD campaigns, if I wouldn't have been through that, I would have been like, oh my God, it's a scam. I'm selling.
Yeah.
You know, because it was like, it was crazy.
Yeah, dude, it just means more future buyers. Like, it just means more people to buy our bags later.
It's true.
Straight up hate.
Yeah.
It's been straight up hate.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys saw the video yesterday that Richard did, right? That little panel he did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So freaking that one I don't know if he was French or whatever the hell he was. One guy comes up to him and right off the bat, started hammering him as a scammer, and then and then you see him slowly back off, and then Richard started talking, and then their little hearts started breaking. He was just crushing.
Because he was like, "We're not in this for crypto to be you guys to be like the bankers taking people's keys, man. Like that's all you guys are talking about, which is the opposite of what crypto is all like. What it was supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about this decentralized stuff, but you guys are doing like." Hey, give us your keys and we'll purchase the stuff for you or whatever. It's like,
the one futures guy that was in there or whatever, he was just freaking breaking his little heart.
Yeah, that was ownage.
Yeah,
it was when it was over, you could see them both just sitting there. Their asses were sore and their hearts were broken. And they had nothing to say, really. They were both very anxious. I can tell in the beginning.
Yeah.
They just start hammering, and they felt good because they had backup, but then. Richard just broke it. I heard it. I can hear it on the stream. It was awesome.
Well, he just tells the truth, right? Like the other guys just don't know the reality.
Yeah,
they're just trying to add the blockchain to stuff that doesn't matter.
Yes. Yeah.
Do you guys have any friends that you were kind of telling during the launch or during like the early part of the launch phase, or family members or anyone that you were like, hey, you gotta buy Hex, you gotta buy Hex, dude. and now that they see the price. They're probably like, oh, shoot, I probably should have,
I set a guy up with a MetaMask. He had $5,000 to spend on day 32 or something like that. And he was going to put it all in. And then he purchased the Ethereum, set him up with a MetaMask, and he was going to buy it. And then he was like, I watched all these Richard Hart videos today, and I don't really feel comfortable with doing this now. And he would have close to like $250,000 or a little bit more than $250,000 right now. If he would have just bought it. And then he's, 2 weeks after that, the price kind of took a shit. So he was like, he texted me like, man, Hex is just getting smoked right now. Look at the price. And I was just like, yeah, all right, whatever, dude.
Now he don't call you no more.
Yeah, now he doesn't talk to me. He doesn't talk to me. He hasn't called.
I know my good buddy that I got into crypto in 2017. I don't do it with anybody. I just did it with my one buddy. And got him involved, and he got him a ton of ETH, and I told him about the same time. I said, "Hey, dude, you got to check this out. You got to get some of that ETH you got in there." And nothing doing. He just held on to it. Now he's just got
It's like, man.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Well, like, what's your guys' opinion? Like, for the people who didn't buy in early, or some of those friends, like, and if they're coming at you now saying, "Hey, is it still too late to buy in?" I mean, I'm still telling people, hey, you can it's still early. It's only 4 months old.
We're gonna laugh at this stream. Believe me, we'll laugh at this stream. We were talking about we were late, 4 months in, and it's gonna be like a year from now. People are gonna be like, damn, you guys were talking about it being late 4 months in.
True. Yeah, I don't know.
It's so
the interest, making the interest is always good. So I mean, you're gonna be making it anyway,
Yeah.
So either way, if it goes down or up.
Yeah,
making some money.
And you get that cheap share rate as well.
Yeah, that too. I was a day one FOMOer.
Yeah.
Are we above the 1 day? The 1 day.
Yeah, now we are. There's 11,000 Ethereum in the adoption amplifier today.
Shiz.
Today is the number 1 day. Like today is the top day.
Man, that's freaking. But yeah, I feel like to the average person though, Hex is so just complex. Like trying to explain it to people It's really just trying to explain Bitcoin to people, you know, and then trying to explain Hex, and they're just like,
I found that it's the opposite of that, really. Like, it makes more sense. So, like, I've explained it because you can get really in depth with Hex, right? Like the shares and stuff like that. But on the surface, it's just like Bitcoin, but you earn interest. Like, if you're going to make money, what's one of the first things you add is interest. So, if you just leave it at that, and then say it's also designed to like have this huge price appreciation, I think that hooks people in. Just like try not to talk about shares and payday and things like that.
The interest always gets them. Like I always talk about the interest. It's like you just make interest. Like you put in some money and you make, if you stake it for, you know, and you don't emergency unstake, you're gonna make more Hex than you would actually coming out. Like you can look at the price at this at this website, but it's pretty, I think it's easier than Bitcoin, because Bitcoin you can get into like mining it and how many millions of coins are getting into it, and like you kind of have to talk about that stuff when you talk about Bitcoin. You know, you just gotta, there's only 20, it's scarce, it's the scarce resource, you know, but
it's like
then you gotta send them some.
You can't spend it, you just sit on it.
When Bitcoin hit $30, they were dumping it. Get out now. And so, I mean, you know, think about it. I mean, listen, look at this right here. This is here, just a little example from Steph. Let's see if I can bring it up. Oh, there we go.
There we go. Yeah.
Oops. Oh man, it's slow.
Steve Smart.
Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, guys.
That's true though.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Where? How come this thing is pulling up the wrong ones? Technical difficulties here.
D
folks.
Biggie.
No.
What's up, bro?
Hey,
What's
Biggie.
up, bro?
What's up, D?
Tiago.
These two are always in the streams, man.
Check this out,
dude.
Day one FOMO right here. Dumbass me. I'm just 7x up because of that damn day.
Hell yeah.
That's the worst day to have gotten a Hex, right? I mean, that's
all good. It's all
good.
Day.
He's only 7x up.
How much ETH did you guys FOMO on the first day?
10.
Oh. 16.
0 for me.
You lucky Ryan.
Yeah. You know what? I think with Hex, I first found out about it when that one video with him battling Tone Vase, and that was my first time hearing about Hex, and I was like, and I was like, man, like I heard it was a scam, but I don't know. And then after that, I was like, man, he just freaking owned Tone Vase. Maybe I should look into this Hex project. And then I kind of was looking into it, and I think it was like launched the day maybe day 4 or day 5, and I was like, wow, this is like an active project. It just launched, and I was like, you know what, this sounds good. And then I started getting in, and even I started kind of going in heavy, and I saw like during that first month it kept going down. Like if you were patient, you could have got a better rate. And I was like, man, it's still going down. But I saw the day one, if you went really hard on day one, man, that was a tough one. That was a tough one.
But I got 100 million shares for my one Hex. Dang it! I'm gonna stand there.
The day one stake is priceless.
I will die on this shares.
Man, you'll be telling your grandkids.
Was it like 26? Yeah. Wasn't it like 26K Hex per Ethereum, right?
47.
47.
Was it 47? Was it 47? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that was with the.
So now today we're only getting 46,000. So it's even we're above the day one price today on the adoption amplifier. The first day that we've ever done that, because day 142 we got 47,886, and day one was 47,584, and today we get 46,510.
And Bitcoin free claims are up hugely. Like,
man, that's crazy. Yeah, it's actually been. If you go to that Hex win bot on Telegram, you can just watch them just pile in. I only watch those now. I try not to look at any of this, because I used to have stakes and claims and stuff like that, or just stakes, and there's too many of them to watch.
And with the big payday now, with the Bitcoin that's claimed, how does that affect the big payday? Because my understanding before was that for everybody who claims their free Bitcoin, it lowers the big payday amount. But is that correct or no?
No, that's the opposite. So the big payday, So the big payday, when people get it, it's the critical mass and virality portion of it. So when people claim it, that actually makes it go up. It's so you don't keep the hex secret. It's so you don't keep it like a secret. You want to tell everybody. It's when people stake. The stakers are what brings the big payday down. Gotcha. So that's actually what is bringing it down. If you see your big payday going,
because I double checked on like Hex.win and I saw like the critical mass and virality like bonuses, and I was like, okay. But
I had to ask Richard that just last week, so that's why I know so much. I was like, I don't really understand this either, because that's how I felt like it too. I was like, I thought it was like a pool of it, and once the Bitcoiners claimed it, that we'd get less, but it's the opposite. Actually, we can get if every Bitcoiner claims, we can get 3x of our big payday.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So there you go.
Here's an interesting question.
What are some shortcomings of Hex that need to be improved? Maybe people calling it a scam when it's really not. Maybe all the articles out there that are saying that it's a scam.
The only thing that can really be like improved is like improvements in the Ethereum network, right? So like even though the contract's deployed, we can still benefit from all the ERC20 like gas efficiencies and transaction fee efficiencies.
Yeah, because technically you can't improve Hex; it's done. So
I
mean that should be the main answer. Is just it's done. There's no improvement that needs.
Yeah,
the ecosystem around it could improve, and that's what's happening every day. You know, I mean, Ethereum's getting better, Uniswap's getting better, the dApps are getting better. You know, adoption is getting better, the community is getting better. I mean, that's kind of what we're doing here is just letting everybody know who's going where, you know.
Just more use cases for how to use Hex as an actual currency. So sort of like you can just make, but that's something that like the Hex project is done. But as time goes on, as more people have gotten Hex and able to take some profits and able to use that money to make other stuff in the community, that's what's going to really help out Hex.
He got tired of his boy walking back and forth in the background.
Yeah. No, there's like a phone. There's a phone in his room just ringing, so I closed the door. I'm like, what the heck is that noise?
Well, talking like the gas fees, I actually think they're pretty badass because talking to Lightcoin Moses, like he's like, man, spending $5 on some of the gas fees up for some of his wearables. I'm like, oh man, we've got it pretty good actually. It's not doesn't sound like
bad.
You know, paying him 5 cents. Some of the people were freaking out because we're paying that much. I can't remember who it was. Somebody Telegram, and I was like, dude, you don't got like $5 to spend on 100 transactions. Like, what are you talking about, man?
Yeah, like I used to every single day like put ETH into the AA, take it out, and then do 10 stakes for like from 1 to 10 year ladders and stuff, and it'd be under $1 in fees.
Yeah,
that's crazy because if I were to do the same transactions in a lot of these other Ethereum games or any dApps or everything, the fee would have been like probably close to about maybe like $6 for about 12 transactions, which compared to like 50 cents. Sometimes even when the, I mean, they're so eventually I do see that because once everything gets really popping and the price of Ethereum, the price of Ethereum shoots up to $400, $500, $1,000. Even Hex's gas fees are going to go up to like probably like 30, 40 cents per transaction, 50 cents. But then on other platforms that they're going to be like, you know, it's possible in order to buy $30, which is terrible. And then that's going to put a big stop to the network. So that, I mean, they have to roll out this ETH 2.0 and do something with these gas fees because it's getting insane now. I mean, that's why I think they're switching over to staking.
Isn't it like scheduled to be like rolled out like very soon? I know we're in like the very first part of it, like the stage 0 or whatever of like rolling it out. I don't know when like the next kind of stage is
for Ethereum.
Yeah, for ETH 2 or whatever.
Oh yeah. I'm not sure. I don't really keep up with the Ethereum.
Yeah, I was reading a thing. It's like a multi-year kind of thing, like in different phases that they're going to try to roll it out in. But
yeah,
testnet's up now with like I think it's going pretty successfully.
Yeah, it's staking, but I mean, what they're doing with like Ethereum 2.0 is that they're getting rid of like mining on Ethereum and going to staking, and then basically when you stake your Ethereum, you're creating some sort of a node on the network, and that's helping like verify transactions. So instead of charging a person per gas fee, everyone just gets paid depending on how many. It's almost like how many shares of, or like each Ethereum is one share, and you need 32 shares to get
32.
To get the yearly dividend of 1 Ethereum per year. I think if that's the correct amount, I think for 32. And then from there, when you have those shares, everyone gets in. Basically, they're trading gas fees for inflation. That's kind of what I'm seeing. What they're doing with Ethereum and stuff. But like I've said this before, even on other podcasts and the shows I've done, like we're not in the fork wars anymore. We're in the stake wars. You know, we've got Tezos staking, we've got Hex staking, we've got Cardano coming out with Shelly, which is staking as well. And then guess who's coming in last? Ethereum with staking. So it's like you got the 4 big players in staking. Everyone's staking. You know.
Yeah, I didn't understand why. I mean, staking was the big, I guess, the ICO scam out there in 2017 was, you know, these stake coins. So basically what they do is they just hold your keys. You'd never see your coins or whatever. But when I was looking at projects, I was like, staking's the way to go. And that's going to, you know, that's where the ecosystem needs to go.
I got involved in some Bitbean back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember.
Bitbean.
I never
yeah, it was real sweet, boys.
Man, I can't even mention the ones I was in.
You could like, it was a proof of stake, and you can make more beans off of your sprouts. You could grow some sprouts of like it ran off of
the future of finance.
Yeah, it was. Yeah,
and it had a gas fee too.
No, I think it was free. I think it was free because it was.
Funny.
I don't know. Yeah, it was.
What's it going? I want to answer this real quick.
Coin market cap.
What do you guys think about coin?
Yeah, I think they're just kind of doing it bad. I don't know. It's just like they have the rules to kind of be like in the top 100. It's just like I don't. It's
I mean, they do kind of need it, like in some senses. But we should definitely be approved by now. The reason they do it is because there's a project, I think.
Yeah. They had like 4 billion.
Dude, it was like $1 trillion or something.
yeah. So you can get a crazy market cap on there. But it is I think some people game the system, so they had to kind of make it so you couldn't game the system, but it's also like we're an actual project. Why don't you just take a look for 10 minutes and see? I don't know how they're ranking people for sure.
Yeah.
Making sure
they don't want to tell
legit
anybody
project. Yeah, exactly. But then Coin Paprika does it, Coin Gecko. So it does seem
it's sort of like YouTube.
Kind of yeah, exactly. You don't know what they want to make yourself a legit project. It really seems like a lot of people just may just have some animosity towards Richard.
Well, of course.
And that's
he's
why
poked his finger in everybody's eye.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Every one of them.
There's a long list of bodies behind him.
And
they ain't happy about it. I wouldn't be happy about it either. You know, I mean, he's popped every bubble out there and hurt everybody's ass. They're all butthurt, and it's going to be a while before, you know. But they're all going to be proven wrong. I mean, they're already being proven wrong. You can say none of them have anything to say after he lays it down because they all know it's true. But he's saying the things that nobody wants to say. That Bitcoin's broken, that the system is broken, it's too expensive, it's too slow, it's not doing the things it said it was going to do. And why in the hell would institutional money want to come into something like that? It's a stupid, it's a mistake. But I mean,
on the guys
market cap's growing like crazy right now. We got another 50 billion in the last couple of months.
Like on that podcast that they had, the guy was talking about what do you think will make the Bitcoin next? What's the next bull run? And the guy was like, well, if one banking person like JP Morgan tells his clients to get into Bitcoin, if gives them that signal. Good luck with that, man.
Oh my god,
they've never used it. I don't think that they're gonna be that thrilled about it. Like, I like Bitcoin for what it is, like back in the day, but it's like other things have been built, and that's what's the future. Like, maybe it's like Doge, like, which is
that's where the old money's going to go into. is Bitcoin, because it's like the only thing everyone knows what Bitcoin is,
Yeah, true.
and we shouldn't. I mean, we shouldn't be mad at Bitcoin, because without Bitcoin, none of this would even be here at all.
They know the brand. They don't know Bitcoin. They know the brand.
They know the brand. You're correct. Yeah.
They don't know what it is, because if they really knew what it is, they'd run to the fucking hills.
Well, they at least get into something
because it isn't what they think it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm sorry. I'm just going to be honest about it.
Bitcoin in itself is the OG. Like, it is.
It's the brand.
Gold, but it's the maximalists that don't listen to the arguments that are out there.
Because they got it on their shirts like fucking NASCAR guys, you know.
Well, I think that's why we're all kind of salty with them. It's because of the Bitcoin maxis, because they kind of call us a scam to the point where it's just like, all right, guys, you want to hear really what you're all about? Because we'll give you that. Like, I'd be fine with the Bitcoin maxis and stuff like that if they would just kind of be like, all right, yeah, other things can be built, but in their realm, nothing else can be built, because everything else is a scam except for Bitcoin. And it's like I'm fine with Lightcoin Moses's, like, his, all of the Decentralized stuff and Litecoin. Like, I think that's awesome that other projects are being built, and I'm not going to be like a hex maximalist.
Yeah,
I think that other things have served their purposes, but in Bitcoin Maxi land, nothing else will serve that purpose. There's only one coin to rule them all, and that's it. It's like, okay, guys, that makes sense.
They can't change sponsorship, is what it is. It's like, how can you, if you've got Tide on your shirt, you can't, promote something else. I mean, that's just exactly what it is. It's their brand, and they got to go with it. And they've built their careers on it. They built their reputations on it. And I understand, but there's at some point you got to get real, because that's what's really gumming up crypto, is the fact that people get in, and when you start paying fees, once you finally onboard and you start paying fees, and you see how ridiculous it is to try and purchase anything with it, and you see how ridiculous the freaking bear markets are and what your money actually does, it turns people off, and that's what it did. That's why we went from 700,000 market cap down to 190. I mean, it didn't work. It doesn't work, but it's the brand.
It's old. It's old technology, and I mean, my viewpoints with Bitcoin, I think it's gonna die eventually. Yeah. And I prefer not to hold any,
Wow.
I thought I was going to take all the arrows for you guys, man. I was giving you guys a chance out, and letting the arrows come at me. Then you had to go and one up me, right, Ryan?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I feel like if you're going to get into cryptocurrency, what's the point of even holding Bitcoin? Because I mean, maybe a tiny bit, but it's just like, it's so old. It, like, at one point in time, it was 6 cents. It was $20. It was like, I feel like the ship has sailed. Yeah. Maybe there's one more last little boost in it, but after that, I think it's slow. It's just obsolete. The chain, it's like a clunky kind of store of value that only these centralized exchanges use it, and you have to use all these like kind of centralized kind of coins, and it's just, to me, I feel like, I don't know.
Well, in the real world, gold was like that, People used it to trade, and people used it as a store of value for, and then all of a sudden it turned into this thing where it was just, well, you can get gold, and then, you can get gold on paper, and you couldn't move gold. You can't pour gold in somebody's cup at a bar and get yourself a drink. It doesn't work like that, So, and it's kind of going the same way as that, as far as I'm concerned. I mean,
the traditional money has to go into Bitcoin and some of these deflationary currencies, like what Bitcoin is for the crypto industry is, it's the hardest form. It's gold, essentially. It's a harder version of gold. That's all it is. I mean, Bitcoin doesn't have to even transact. I mean, it should. It would be nice if it was upgraded, and it slowly is going to get upgraded. But it's just, where do you put your value? And that's all it. Yeah. That's all it is. I mean, it's essentially, that's where crypto. It's the savings accounts of crypto.
But
is Bitcoin.
The fantasy that Bitcoin is gold, like, just doesn't really hold up, because it goes down 85% still.
Yeah, it
does. Now, right? But like, just as it goes up higher and higher and higher in market cap, right? It's going to be, the volatility is going to go less. Of course, there's always going to be a 50% dip. Even the stock market, which is, I mean, everything's manipulated as fuck.
But gold
yeah. Well, kind of. I mean, even when the stock market crashed down, like people were selling gold in order to cover fucking like shorts they had on the stock market or longs they had in the stock market. So it's like everyone got wrecked and everyone sold gold and silver to pay off their debts.
Have you seen that picture of Peter Schiff, like gold at $1,800?
$1,800.
Yeah.
I feel like eventually with Bitcoin, I feel like we'll reach the point of kind of like with like MySpace, kind of how it just becomes like, I don't know, other things surpass. Like say if this bull run, say if Ethereum just flips it and we just keep booming. I mean, you know,
it's gonna die with the whimper for sure. Other things with better virality, better marketing will just overtake it. Better features. Like the maximalists, they want to ignore the fact that people want other services and other utility. Like you can't build Decentralized on top of Bitcoin. You can't build shit on top of Bitcoin. You can sit and just stroke your ledger or something.
Yeah.
What's your guys' thoughts on wrapped Bitcoin? Have you seen that WBTC?
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
There's more
I'm not sure if you guys have used that one at all.
Lipstick on a pig.
But why not? Why not just use Ethereum at that point?
This is not
everybody, you know, nobody.
The maxis are like, wait,
it's still like it's still.
Let's add another step to it
because it's an ERC20 token, isn't it? Isn't it just on their Ethereum network? Isn't it just based off?
Yeah, it's like a tokenized version of Bitcoin. It's like I guess it's soft pegged or whatever to the value of Bitcoin, and I guess it's audited. I was kind of briefly looking into it. But I was just like, I don't know if I want to hold that. I was just like,
I think it's like Tether, right, for Bitcoin.
It's something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Oh, look, Timmy in the house.
It's essentially dollar. It's basically what's called Bitcoin reserve currency or something like that.
Okay.
Timmy
69. It's fractional reserve banking. That's what I mean. It's gonna like with Tether. Like Tether's back to 1-to-1, right, with dollar. But eventually, like they just don't. Something happens wrong, and then they have to fake that they have all the funds over here, right? So at one point, they're gonna say they have 100,000 bitcoins of these tokens, of these wrapped tokens, but they really have 50,000 Bitcoin. And then eventually, one day, something's gonna happen with the price of that wrapped Bitcoin token, where it goes down to where their actual supply of Bitcoin is.
Yeah.
So it's going to be sort of like they're essentially creating the banking system again. I mean, this is what it is.
It's crazy how they're just like wrapping token, and there's like a wrapped Ethereum. I think I saw a video of Richard talking about how in the future, if somebody were to create like a wrapped version of staked HEX or something like that, and to be able to like buy and sell. I think we just lost somebody.
Did we lose RG3?
Yeah, it's all right. He'll be back.
Yo,
there he is.
Yeah,
there he is.
Litecoin, you mentioned that.
That's all right. I had to sit. My son came in.
I'm sorry, Tuck.
What were you saying, Ryan?
Say?
Yeah, Ryan was talking about wrapping staked HEX, right? So you were talking about that before. I think that probably will get built on top of HEX. It is like useful to be able instead of like ending stake, but I think it would hurt the price because there'd be less demand for free HEX. Because you can just buy a stake, right?
I feel like that would be kind of weird because it would be like, now I have all these OG stakes, or like say in like a year or two, and then like people would be trading them. I don't know. It would be there would be a lot of variables there.
It'd be interesting for sure.
Yeah.
You got to think whether it's going to like enhance the ecosystem more, or if it's going to hurt the price more. Like if it enhances the ecosystem, it might bring more money in than it hurts. So. You got to weigh that up. It'll probably get built eventually because the community is fucking awesome.
Yeah, and just the way how with like technology, it's just so crazy, and just like the whole crypto ecosystem in general. Like I got in at the end of 2017, and just kind of being in it since then, and seeing how everything has evolved. And lately, with like all like the DeFi, and I feel like everything is just in Ethereum. That's where all the action is. Everything's being built within, and then with Uniswap emerging, then HEX, and all those like lending protocols. I mean, it's just really. I feel like now we're ready to see like a true, like a bull season, like a really strong one. You know, in 2017, we were kind of almost there. There was all those like ICO hypes of just like fake promises, fake projects. Oh, it's going to be this. It's going to be that. It's going to be that. It's going to be that. There's just like all this fake kind of like, and then it's just kind of like
boom. Fake hype.
Well,
I think that maybe the one project that actually is like legitimate completed project, you've got one that's out of all of the 5,000 other cryptocurrencies. Maybe this is like what brings on the next bull market. When
it could be.
I kind of think it,
really start seeing the gains, and we go up 200x, and people are like, oh my gosh, we got to get into this, and maybe it gets on the news or something like that. That's all it really takes is 1 or 2 times getting on the news. And then
can you imagine Richard Hart on like CNBC?
he has been on
he was on Max Kaiser.
Oh yeah
he's been on Max Kaiser. He's been on that Ryan Newhour guy. Is he on NBC or something like that? I can't remember what the he's been on it a couple times. Yeah, he's
crazy. I think in like 3 to 5 years, I personally think in 3 to 5 years, Hex could be #1 crypto. Maybe even sooner.
I can see it at #1.
Look, Ryan keeps throwing it out there, man.
I'm serious,
whipping it out, baby. Just whip it out there.
I've never seen anything like it. There's nothing else that's like complete done. Like if you look at XRP, if you look at Bitcoin, if you look at Bitcoin Cash, if you just like, what are they really? There's no like kind of wow. There's nothing that like makes it pop. And Hex, it's like it brings something new that just has never been seen. So I mean, why can't it be? The crypto space is so abstract and it's so unpredictable. Why not?
Well, I think that Richard says is the best when he says that this could be the opportunity of your lifetime. Like, this is probably the only one time that you'll ever see something like this. I mean, there might be something
I feel that way for sure,
but it's like you won't ever get something that's like you'll get into this early onto something that that is the first of its kind. That has all this game theory built on top of it with like. You can see the smartness and the intelligence of Richard Hart that he put it into the coin, which is like you're not going to see anything like that again. I don't think.
Crazy, and I was thinking like technology, it always advances and people invent new things and this and that, but the chances of another Richard Hart coming along and somebody with his same level of just kind of brain power and putting in all that effort and like for years and and making a new project again of something, I feel like the chance of that happening is just low. I feel like it was just like a nice blend of everything, a good timing, energy, effort, and he put so much and it's like just a piece of art.
I think he weeded out some really smart people from all his videos.
Timing. I think that right now, I mean, Litecoin and I were just talking about this before we got on. Was this whole timing thing? I think, in my opinion, this whole halvening thing is being overblown. I mean,
well, it's the only thing the Bitcoin guys have. That's the only thing they have. After that, what do the Bitcoin guys have?
What the heck is there?
But historically, how has the halvening hasn't done anything historically when it happens?
True.
It's lagging.
It lags a little bit, right? Like
it's like 6-8 months down the road, it starts to move, and it doesn't move like parabolic or anything. It just starts to move. And
which is I would rather it just like not, go up 100, Bitcoin at least, the big boy.
So that leaves me to question. It's like, okay, so if everybody gets pumped up and we get some money coming into the whole coin market cap itself from, the FOMO of this thing, and it falls on its face, what happens at that point?
Ethereum takes over.
Yeah, that's what I think too. Ethereum takes over. It's a
Ethereum.
But is it gonna take the gas out of the market and just like, okay, that was.
I think that people are smarter.
Because if you don't see 20K Bitcoin in December, there's gonna be some pissed off motherfuckers out there.
Yeah, and then they're gonna jump ship. True. I think they're gonna jump ship. Like I think that people are gonna realize that Ethereum.
Oh, it ain't.
That's really, I mean, there's going to be some people that are like Bitcoin for, until it goes to zero, but it's like, you're going to, I'm not saying when, there could be in 50 years, guys. I'm not saying when, jeez. I'm just saying
the maxis are hoping it's like, man, if it is 20K again, I'm getting out.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Dude, have you ever talked to a maxi before? Like,
Me?
actually, like, talk, like I've DM'd some maxis before, and they're secretly like, Yeah, to tell you the truth, I'm kind of like, I wish I could talk about some other projects, but it's sort of like a gang. It's a gang essentially. Like they're not allowed to talk about, like, they have to talk always Bitcoin this, and the minute they talk, like, they get in trouble. They can't go on any podcast, they can't go on any YouTube channels, talk about any crypto.
They just get cancelled. Yeah,
they get in Bitcoin timeout.
Like Trace Mayer has just disappeared since he like spoke about that Mimble coin.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Like he's probably in hiding somewhere.
Yeah, no, with all the maxis, I honestly, I don't even watch any of their things. I just stopped. I don't even process anything that they put out, because to me, they're not even thinking clear. Their brain process is just stuck in their old ways, and you have to kind of adapt and kind of just, move on.
Reason out the freaking window.
Yeah. So anytime I see it, I don't even look. I just completely skip over it. Yeah. Just because, and there's no point in even trying to battle with them. You're just going to waste your energy. Yeah. You're just going to waste your energy. No point. Just move on.
I don't want to shit on Bitcoin too much, but like I onboarded my brother recently, like got him some stakes up and stuff, and then like all this cool shit that people have built on top of Hex, like Hex.live, showed him that, and like I don't know, just all these cool things like leagues and stuff. It's just so, like Richard would say, like sticky. Like the stickiness of the project is really cool.
Yeah.
And just seeing your interest go up, like even if it's just 4 Hex or something.
Don't give any no financial advice, guys. No financial advice.
Have you guys ever seen that that YouTube channel, that fitness YouTube channel? What's it called, like Chris and stuff, or what's his name? Fuck, I'll find the name of that guy. But there's this whole thing where like this guy's like he's like portraying this whole thing like this guy's a big drug dealer. He doesn't deal drugs, but he keeps saying it to people like the Hexologist sells me stuff. Like and everyone's like, he's the biggest. What the hell's his name? Bradley Martin.
No,
Bradley Martin.
Bradley Martin,
and he's some guy, he lives with him and stuff, and he just keeps saying Bradley Martin's a drug dealer.
Deals creatine.
He's like the biggest drug dealer in LA. It's such an inside joke now. Yeah.
Oh man. What else? So what are you guys' big paydays? Big payday prediction. That was
big payday. Yeah, I feel like it's gonna be, honestly, I've been trying to kind of look into it, and I feel like it's just gonna be very, I don't know, like the price action just with the share rate, it's supposed to go up a lot, right?
Yeah, so I think there's going to be huge volatility. Like,
yeah, I think it's going to be really crazy.
Every single person is expecting a dip, so I think there might be more buyers than there is going to be sellers. If everyone expects it, I don't see it happening as big as people expect.
Yeah, I think before, like I hear a lot of people actually, because this is my idea too. But before selling some, because you think that you're gonna get a little, because you like for probably the month before you think you're gonna get some upward action, but maybe not because so many people are expecting it. Well, but I think a lot of people are going to start staking right before then too, so there's going to be less coins on the market. So it's like, dang, I honestly have no idea because it's so unpredictable.
Patrick was on the show the other day, and he said that. Now I think this is what he was saying: is that you get part of your big payday as you get closer to it.
No.
Or if you end stake, you get 0 big payday.
Yeah, if you're not staked on the time that it's the big payday, you won't get any of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'll get 0 of the big payday.
But if you, I guess it has to do with what people think the price is going to do the day before and all that. I mean, that's.
Yeah, you might get 2x the Hex from big payday, but if it halves in price, it's like, well, what's the best thing to do? Yeah.
Right.
But then you also get the high share price as well. So
exactly.
It's really hard to predict.
Exactly.
And like the longest, like 5 day stake that includes the big payday bonus, I guess it would be like the day right before. So if you do a 5 day stake right before big payday, you have an OG maximum duration big payday bonus stake that can never be ever in time. It's like impossible.
That's true.
So I'm about to have some, I'm going to try to have some like left over during that time, so I could just do a super far, like just boom, like a just 5 day right before big payday, and it's like, yo, that is the absolute most longest Like it's impossible. You can't have one longer that has the big payday in it.
Speaking of that, Ryan, you're everybody talks about.
I was gonna say he's the staking master.
Everybody's like, have you seen Ryan Lopez's stakes? Have you seen? I'm like, yeah, that's the dude to go look at.
I put like maybe 3 months of just kind of like energy, thinking, effort, time. Like just really, I started with one, then I started to do another, then I started doing another, and I just kind of like put everything together of what I thought, would be a blend. Then I was kind of thinking, maybe I should try to do it for like, 2.5 years, 10,000x, like try to do it kind of heavy. But then I was like, you know what? I feel like just kind of, longer, better. And I try to kind of just split it up that way to put the risk, just spread it out. So that way it doesn't even matter, Do
you have them coming out monthly or what is that?
I have minimum weekly, every week for 15 years.
Okay. Yeah. I was just wondering because I have mine coming out monthly and I was like, man, his is like really stacked in there. And I was like, man, they got to be
daily, baby.
Dude,
yeah,
like daily, it's pretty as hell.
It took so long. Like it really took a long time. I like just for months, a couple months. Yeah. And if I wouldn't have got it done before all like Hex blew up, then I don't even know if I would be mentally like I'd be like, oh shit, it's mooning. Yeah. So
yeah, it's good that it happened like early.
There was one guy I saw posting some Hex or his staking charts. What's his name? Brandon? Is that his name?
Oh yeah, Brandon.
Yeah. He has a pretty cool like kind of graph and stuff design of his stakes. But I was going through on Hex.vision and kind of like the top 100 shareholders list. And then just copying each kind of address, like addresses that have maybe like a lot of stakes, and just kind of looking at their kind of like techniques. And there's some pretty interesting kind of some people they have some really interesting. And the thing is, there is no correct way to do it. Like there's no one. It's just like it's your own. It's almost like art, or it's like whatever. It's like it's just it's like like a person who makes music.
Put too much damn time and effort into it, as far as I'm concerned. I had to push some shit out there. Just got that shit in there so I wouldn't be looking at it. Hey, check this question out. What happens to your big payday if you early in stake after day 351? So obviously on big payday, everybody gets their big payday bonuses onto their stakes. But if you end stake it early, if you early in stake, what happens to that? Do you lose all the big payday or?
So it'll be the exact same. I asked Richard the same thing. So it'll be like cutting it. If you end it 50% early, then it'll cut into the 50% of your principal. It'll start cutting into your principal. But you should probably do the math yourself because honestly, like big payday, like emergency end staking, I have a really hard time telling anybody at any of that because it's like it always depends on how long you staked, how much you staked, how much what I mean. And so it's like you kind of got to go do that stuff on your own. Like I don't like to try to tell anybody about any of the emergency end staking for fear that they're going to be like, you told me this and then it was it's like, well, bro, I'm just giving you a guess at this point.
Not financial advice.
I think Hexstat.com. I think that guy still has his like emergency unstake calculator up or whatever.
I don't know if it works. Somebody told me it doesn't give the right
and also I think if you emergency unstake after the big payday, supposedly that stake will get nuked.
Yeah.
Because like it will be so much more of a bigger, powerful stake that it just
So your end stake penalty includes like an average of your interest that you've already gained. So as soon as you get the big payday, like your average interest per day that you've earned so far is huge. Yep. So it just can nuke it.
Yeah, that's why I try not to tell anybody. Yeah, exactly. I try to be like, guys, just don't unstake. No financial advice. Don't unstake because for fear that you're going to lose your Hex. If you want,
don't do it. Do not do it.
But it's all up to you if that's what you want to do. If you want to take
Patrick was talking about some equation and whatnot, but unless I'm sure we'll all get a lot smarter with the math as time goes on. Well, some of you will. I definitely won't, but we'll listen to who the smart guys with the math are. As time goes on, everybody's starting to learn more and more and more about what the numbers mean and everything. But some people like Patrick, I think he's got his head wrapped around it. He understands it a lot more. He's one of them math guys. But there's some way that you can get out and still make most of your. I don't know if the price is up the day before. I don't know.
Yeah. My plan. I'm just holding everything. I'm accruing the interest, and I'm not even going to worry. And I think even if we do get these periods of extreme volatility, you just got to have really strong hands. You got to be really strong hands. If you hold through it all, you could just you'll be a whale. That's how whales are made. You just got to hold through everything. Like if you held through Bitcoin from the beginning, that's boom. And then at the end, you have, like Richard said, you have so many coins that you don't even need to sell any because you're just a whale.
Yeah, I mean, dude, if you would have bought day 33 and got 1.8 million and put all of your Ethereum in there at that day, if we would have caught that day exactly, I mean, dude, it would be and you just held on to those for years. I mean, when one Ethereum gets you 10,000 hex, you're already like up there with the whale status, because how many hex or how many Ethereum is that worth then? And it's kind of crazy, like how crazy, how much it's going up. Comparatively, how fast. So
and I think one technique that I think could be applied here, which I think Tom Lee, the guy Tom Lee was talking about before, is like with cryptocurrency, and it's just like to catch the huge gains, you just got to be in it, because you never know. And then when it goes, like with Hex, we just saw like that day, like boom, it's gone. And once it's gone, it's gone. And it's like you just had to be. You just had to be in. You had to be in.
That's the guy that went to jail
for crypto. It's so true for crypto, but it's true for every traditional market as well. Like I think 10 days account for like the 80% of the gains in the S&P as well. Like, if you're not in, you don't get it.
And if you take out the best 10 days of a year of say Bitcoin or maybe some other S&P assets or anything, like it ends up being kind of just like 0% or even a little bit negative. I think that's Bitcoin according to Tom Lee. So I mean that just shows it's the most of the gains are just made in a couple days, so you just gotta be in it for blast off. So just hold through it all. Just hold strong hands, whale status.
Hex makes it easy to have strong hands as well. So it
really does. I've never been that kind of person. I've been like, oh, I'm gonna trade this. I haven't traded any of my Hex for Ethereum or anything. So it's like it feels good, because then you just kind of not forget about it, but at least it's not like, well, I have some liquid Hex, I could just sell it right now. I don't have that problem anymore.
No point.
I don't want to take penalties
if Hex dips 80%, I'm just gonna buy more. If it dips 70%, great. Let's buy the dip.
Well, that's the thing, is like when we go up, you're making Hex and you're making USD by going up, and people emergency end staking. And when it goes down, you're making more Hex because people are like, I got to get out, and you get the emergency end stakings right there, bigger ones. Trying to get out. So you're making, pretty much any way you look at it, you're making Hex because people are trying to get out at certain points. And if, like the only reason to not be making Hex is when it's just going sideways and people are in emergency end staking. So I don't really care about the volatility. The volatility is actually good.
And if I can ever get any more, there's a question there from Wes. Let's get to that. 5-man poll for bragging rights. What will the total amount of penalties be when big payday hits?
Ooh, that's a good one. I would say like $1.5 billion. We're at 500 million right now. So another like $1 billion on top of it, because we're about a third of the. Well, actually, it
might be at now. Is that 300 million?
No, it's at 500 million. It's like 400
billion. 50 billion.
50 billion.
50 billion.
50 billion. Holy shit.
No way.
Really? Oh yeah. Especially if the price spikes. Let's just say it hits 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents for some reason. People will be like, I don't care about the penalties. I just want my,
That's true.
Then,
they put $200 in, they're getting like $7,000 or $8,000. That's probably what they're at right now. Maybe like $50,000 off their $200.
So if people were to emergency end stake that 50 billion, right? You need to have been in just does all that that interest get given to all the stakers that are currently all staking, or just the day before?
It happens like in real time. So you have to have been staked. You can't like start a stake at the end of the day. Like,
it goes to everybody who's
no. I mean, like the previous day. Yeah. So let's just say it happens on day 150. Let's just say today's day 50. I staked on day 149. I get it essentially because
Yep. You just have to be on that day
all the stakes previous.
Yeah.
I saw another thing, like, as well as not being able to sell if you're staked, I think no one talks about this really, but it incentivizes you to like keep watching the project and keep telling your friends about the project and just keep it going, like the community.
Yeah, that's what I like about the Bitcoin, the 350-day automatic, like that you once you free claim, you automatically get staked for 350 days. So they have to watch their investment go up for 350 days of whatever they claimed. 90% of it. And so you just I think that's
and how many of them are just I'll just take Richard's free coin.
Yeah, well, they can't because it's auto staked, man. Like the 10%, they got to be, I'm going to sell this, and then the next day it's up 20%.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're like, oh shit.
Yeah. Which is that's such an ingenious idea to make somebody just watch it for a year if they're going to free claim it, and give them a little bit. I'll give them a little bit too.
Yeah, I'm not gonna. There's a bunch of people talking in the chat. I'm not gonna give the name or the guy credit because about the whole ghosts and the trolls, but the first guy that gave us our first big our big early end stake penalty
my roommate
has disappeared
he paid like $150,000 worth of hex in penalty and then sold the rest of his stack.
Well, he did 100. I know he did 150 million hex stake for 6 years and then got nuked on it. And it was like about $33,000 worth of his back then $33,000. So that'd be like he probably would be a multimillionaire at this point if he would have just kept it.
He could have just walked off into the sun.
He got in really good too because I saw that when he bought him really low at like 1.2 million. I mean, it is.
That's a damn shame, man.
Yeah.
Sad.
Oof.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say anything.
Yeah. I'm not going to say anything either.
I don't want to speak ill of the dead.
It's sad.
It sucks for him, man. I mean, that's like whatever.
That's very sad. Turn my But yeah, if I somehow get any more like a lump sum of cash or anything, I'm just putting it straight into crypto, straight into Hex. I know back during the first month, I made a list and I went through and I was calling everybody, all my friends, all my really good friends from high school, all my family members, everybody. I was telling everyone like, hey, I'm going all in on this coin called Hex. I'm going all in. I was going on a list. That way I can go back in time and I can say, hey, it's not like I didn't try, Yeah. And I'm hitting up all my friends from high school. And I'm like, hey, I'm like, yo, you got to get I'm going to empty my 401k. I'm going to put it in. And everybody was like, oh, well, I might, maybe, I think I might get in. Maybe I'll let you know. And, I think a couple people bought, but I told everyone, even like my family members. And it's like, and now it's like, I'm like, dang, I'm like kind of mad. Well, I'm not mad, but I'm like, man, I wanted to help out my own family. I wanted to help out my family, my good friends. I wanted to help them out. I've tried so hard. And it's like you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make it drink it. And it's like, oh,
well said.
It's true too. Like I mean, I think I know. I don't know if anybody else has those stories, but yeah, I mean, like I didn't like, bravo for Ryan calling his friends from high school. I already knew people would be like, dude, get away. What are you trying to like some MLM scammer kind of like? Hey, I got this great project. And he calls me like that. I'm like, all right, here we go. Here's
the problem though.
Here we go.
When you're
bro, you hit them with that passive income.
Yeah. True, very true. That's actually a good way to get people on board, man. Get them the passive income. Yeah, that's always like a good, because I mean, if you just show people like you could make money off of the interest and just stake the principal, restake the principal if you wanted to. And if you had enough hex, you could be making, you know, $600 or $700 a week at this point, you know, with like 100 million hex back, you know, 100 ETH back in on day 33 probably wasn't that much. Or it was worth what, 150 million. You could be making $600 a week off of just staking if you were just doing it for like 7-day stakes. Because I watch Hex.live, and you can watch some of the people unstaking, and they're putting it in there for like a week at a time, and they're making, you know, $400 or $500 a week just off of staking for 7 days. So it's like, man, you could just live off of the passive income.
Yeah. Crazy how cheap it was. I remember in December, one Ethereum, when Ethereum was at 130 on Uniswap, it gave you like 1.8, 1.9 million.
Yeah.
Holy, like, are you serious? You know,
now you're getting 46,000.
Oh my god!
Yeah, nobody's gonna be talking about those days.
Like, when do the Cultivate guys change their mind?
Litecoin
shit, man. Litecoin's been taking the shit, bro. They've been hammering his ass.
Dude,
got a cool.
It's been rough. It's been rough. but like Charlie, I'm not trying to put any words in their mouth. Charlie, he's a trader, and he does see the value of trading, obviously. And he's like, of course, like there's a bunch of you know, the price goes up and down quite a bit, right? So he's like, oh, dude, this is a good coin to trade because there's volatility, you know. And
but there's not that much volatility.
No, but for the upside, yeah. But
I mean, you look at that chart. I'm sorry, but if you're looking for volatility, that's a scary chart right there, because that thing just keeps going up and up and up and up and up.
Yeah, but it did go from 40 sats down to 26 sats. And then right back up again, right? So there is some people trading it and stuff. So I mean, like, let traders do trader things.
I think it's good to have traders. Yeah,
I mean, Hex is perfect for me because I'm not thrilled about Bitcoin, and I'm definitely not thrilled about trading. So that's why I like the principles of Hex, because those things just don't turn me on at all. Trading has wrecked so many people, and I'm no good at it. And I tried it, and it just frustrated me.
Unless you're a whale, dude. I don't think that if you can push the markets, that's about the only reason that anybody is good at it. That's what
exactly.
I think. Is somebody that has so many coins that they can push the market, and that's the only way you win.
Yeah.
Is that you push it all the way up, and then you're like, haha, and then you sell back down on them.
When you go in, and then all you got to do is go move some of your wallet address, some of your Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet, and the whole market changes for you. I mean, it's like at that point, you got something going on, you know. But you know, the average Joe doesn't have that. You sit there and stress the whole thing out all the time, you know.
Dude, I'm always checking the price of Hex, man. Just if it does go down, I get some.
It's like,
I dollar cost average. I always wait like the whole day at work. I'm just working, and then like I check my phone. I was like, oh look, it went down a couple sats. Get a little bit more. Yeah.
By the way, guys, we're pumping again on Hex. We're pumping. We're all time new high.
I was gonna stay away from the numbers because your show's so close, and you're the numbers guys.
3.6 thousandths of the dollar. We're just, you know, it's just barely passing the all-time highs.
Dang,
this is crazy, guys.
41 set.
Satoshis. Let's see, 40. Yeah, almost 42. Almost 42. 41.8.
Wow.
Dang.
My bags.
Next target, 1 cent.
Yeah, that's only 3x from now, which is crazy to even think about when we were down like.
That's one more whale gets in and it goes like that.
I remember 0.76 Satoshis. Very very crazy.
I mean, so if we get another whale like the last one, I mean, it's gonna. Oof.
Yep.
Yeah. So you guys track it? Do you find it more reliable to track the price of Hex with USD than, because like I found it pretty easy to track with Bitcoin because the Bitcoin price wasn't moving too much. But I guess it's better with $1, right?
I just like to watch my USD grow. Nobody get like, if I'm showing my wife, I'm like, look, I got this many Bitcoin. She's like, okay, what does that mean? I'm like, here's the dollar amount. All right, here's the dollar amount. Wow, that's amazing.
I like watching it with ETH because ETH it does like this with ETH. You know, it just kind of like stays with ETH. So I like watching it with ETH.
Yeah, usually I'll check on hexinfo.io. I like that one a lot. Hex.live is a good one, and then usually I'll just go to like straight up hexdex.win, then just check it on there. I feel like that's the most accurate. Just see, okay, one Ethereum gets you this, and then I'll put it into USDC and just kind of like, you know, see what the actual US dollar, the stable coin token. Yeah. But I've noticed it's kind of weird when you put some in, like, I don't know if it gives you the accurate like USDC on hexdex.1. Sometimes it seems a little bit like there could be some like slippage, or I don't know. I'm not sure if that's like for sure accurate, but
somebody says, anyone playing the games on Hex yet?
I was going to throw that up there right now.
Were you playing? Did you play any of the games when they first came out? I thought you were.
I was in I was in PyraHex. I think that was the first one.
Yeah, that one's.
And then Hex 2, and it was fun. It was fun for a moment, but then I realized that if you just don't get in any games, just stake in the original contract. Overall, I think you make so much more. So
you're losing percentages every day of your staking bonus.
Yeah, and every single day that you wait, you're getting a lower. And if you're in one of those games, you're not. Well, I think with the Hex 2, and I think Pyra does have a new one coming out, but it's like you're still waiting to get your line and spot for the big payday. You know, every single day the share rate it's getting more expensive.
Well, you can stake in those games, though. You can stake through those games as well.
In Hex 2, you could, and I think Pyra's coming out with a new one, I think, that you could stake, I believe. Yeah. But I was just like, you know what? There's just too many games. I'm just going straight into the original contract.
I think the games are good for the ecosystem, but people when people come in the chat and they say it's just straight up better, it's not true. Like, some people have to lose for other people to make money in those games. Yeah. So it's not just creating Hex. But I think it's better for the ecosystem. The way they work is that like whoever's got the strongest hand gets more money. So it encourages people to have strong hands.
You got to understand that gives a way for people to temporarily stake and have the money in their pocket. I mean, you could do that on the original contract also. It's just a fun way of doing it, I guess, you know, and they have communities themselves, you know, they're all, they've got a community on each game and they're all chatting with each other and YouTube videos together.
I think it was so fun. When I was first in Pyra, it was so fun. Like, man, that was just like, but then it just kind of was like, man, well, and it kind of, you know, eventually the volatility dies off and you make money on the volatility in some of those, but for a moment I was like, man, I'm having a blast. You know?
Yeah, it looks like fun. I mean, it's not for me, but it looks like fun.
I think that they're good for the community. I just don't like one person and I don't know how they work and I don't read the code. So I'm just saying, like, if one person exit scammed out of that, it would look really bad for Hex to if one of the games just pulled all the coins, or there's 4 and 1 at this point. It would look pretty bad on Hex, and especially since the one person's got how many billions are in this contract at this point. It's like, which I think that it's good. I think
it's only 100 millions, but
is it? Well, I think that total. I think there's $1 billion in it.
Across all the games, there's $1 billion. Yeah, but I think it's like Hex. Like, I'm not sure if there's admin keys, but I'm pretty sure it's all decentralized contracts.
Okay.
Yeah. If you look at the curve of like what's going to happen with Hex, is I think about maybe like June or July of next year, when most people are gotten their big payday already from the early guys, I'm guessing. Let's just say like 3 years out. I should say 3 years out. Most people, the hype's gone down. The project's fully out. I mean, the project's already out, and we're getting just the regular interest we're getting. That's when I think these games are really going to blow up, because people are addicted to getting the crazy amounts. Because I think I did the calculation that like you basically have to stake 2 years just to get 4% on your Hex for a year. So it's a 2 year long stake, because it's like 3.6% for a 1 year stake. So you have, and it's 20% extra.
How many people are in, actually? Because it's like, if you like right now, there's only 26% people stake, so we're actually getting 14% average.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
Like 3.69 is the only if 100% of the stakers are currently staked, and and then if it's the other way around at 369% if only one person was.
So what do you think it's going to average out to?
I think that it'll probably average out to middle somewhere 50%. Because at first we had 80% or to 90% of it all staked, and then all the way down to 20%, and I think that it'll probably even out at 50%. So I don't know what that is. I'll go look at it.
Yeah. And I have like a spreadsheet that I've been kind of tracking like each day's like the payout, and for this month of April so far, I have like an annualized rate. It's showing 16.57%. So I think the emergency unstaked penalties they've really been a pretty good boost.
Yeah.
50% would give you 7.38% ROI.
That's what I was thinking, right around 7% or something like that.
Yeah, and then you got it, the emergency end stakes like Ryan was talking about,
which would make you better than Tezos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Is Tezos 6%?
No, it's at 7% right now.
But but if you own a certain amount, right? It's like
no, whatever amount you own, you get 7%. But you have to stake yourself on its own wallet. And some people just don't want to do that. They want to do it through Coinbase. So Coinbase steals 25% of your stake and gives you 5% on Coinbase.
Wow.
Yeah, but so most people are getting 5%.
Then they got a good thing going over there, man.
Yeah, they're killing it over there. But like the whole, I don't want to talk about Tezos too much. But the reason I do want to mention it is, right now the statistics on how many people are staking their Tezos right now, 93% of Tezos are staked.
Wow.
So that 93%.
Total supply 93%. So that's pretty 93%. So 7% is just actively trading around. Yeah. And the big thing with Tezos is that because the Ethereum can't do the ICOs anymore, right? Because they got in trouble, right? So what they're doing right now is they're going to try to do STOs through Tezos, which is basically they're going to take a company that couldn't get on the stock market, or a company, or they just bribe essentially a company to come onto Tezos platform, and they're essentially IPOing on the Tezos network, and crypto money gets to invest in those companies, and that's what they're trying to create, like an IPO market through an ICO, but calling it an STO. So instead of it being a crypto, like a decentralized company, it's a company that actually makes money and IPOing it with crypto.
It seems like it has a lot of hype and people kind of like it. But I tried to do some research into it and I just couldn't get into it. I don't know. I couldn't get like excited about it. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just not into it. And I was just like, I'm not even going to put any energy into it. I don't know.
Brasology said he staked 100% of his Tezos and he has 955 of them and earns 50 cents a day. So I mean,
you get
like $3,000 and you get 50 cents a day. It's like $15 a month. It's like,
but that all depends on the price of the coin and stuff. So like you get if you're doing it through Coinbase, right? You get about 50 Tezos for every 1,000. So if you wanted one Tezos a day, you would need about 7,300.
Oh, geez.
And then you would get about 7,300 Tezos, and then you would get one Tezos a day. But then if we're in a hype cycle, that could be like, I don't know, $50 to $200 per Tezos.
Tezos right now? Yeah, like $3. Is it
$3 right now? Yeah,
this is $21,000 for $3 a day.
For $3 a day, yeah, for $3 a day, you can feed a young.
Kiss my ass.
Yeah.
Hey.
But
that's a shit coin.
Backed by the Coinbase Mafia, man. The Ethereum Coinbase Mafia.
It's a fucking scam.
Yeah. Yeah. But it's funny to see what shit they actually try to post up there, and like I watch Coinbase all the time. Like, what are they trying to pump? Because, like, I think they're going to try to pump Ethereum Classic as well, because of all the Ethereum 2.0 stuff that's going on. All the miners on Ethereum are going to move to Ethereum Classic.
They own a lot of the coins. Ethereum Classic, I think they own a whole, like a huge bag of the Ethereum Classic.
Yeah, it's gone from $3 in the last month to $6.
Oh,
yeah,
100%.
But since no one really talks about it.
What was the price yesterday for Hex? What we probably done that.
Got him.
That's hilarious.
It does sound boring talking about other cryptos, dude, because you hear the gains and you're like, wow.
I'm sorry, man. But this is
I know.
This is like exciting. I mean, yeah, it's funny. You know, Bitcoin went up how many percent in the last few days? I mean, just freaking minuscule.
10%.
Your bag pumped 10 to 12, maybe. I mean, it might have even been like 15% or something. But I mean, come on, and they're all excited. Twitter's like going absolutely ape shit nuts right now. Like, it's here, it's coming, it's coming. 20K Bitcoin's coming, 50K, and it's like, I know they're trying to get excited about it, but I mean, we've been like that for what, 4 months now, just every day. Like,
I mean, 50K is what, a 10x from like the, not even, well, maybe a little bit more there from the all.
That's a week.
Lows, but it's like,
that's a week in Hex.
Yeah, exactly.
That's a week in Hex.
Yeah. It's just funny how crypto Twitter and all those that they've just hated on Hex for so long. Like I'm happy for them. I really am. I want Bitcoin to go up. But man, it would be nice if people would just stop being like, I don't know, man, maybe you should really look into that coin before you start promoting it. It's just like, guys, what do you think? You know, like, okay, sure. Yeah. I don't know. Yep.
All right. I guess some guy replied to one of my Twitters. It said something about the 56X. I had reposted something, and he's like, yeah, try selling into that slippage. Even if it is 56X, you couldn't even realize the profits at that price. They just don't know. They don't even
get it.
They don't Uniswap. They don't.
Well, I don't. It's so new, dude. I don't think that anybody's really using it except for Hex. Like, I think that it's so like nuanced that it's just like people are like, what? There's actually that you can actually do that where you can. I mean, they know about atomic swaps, but I don't think that they know like how easy, like how easy it is to install MetaMask and then just do the atomic swaps like that. Like that, you don't even have to go by anybody. No KYC or AML.
No KYC. It's. I mean, you'd be better off trading on Uniswap than any other exchange out there.
Yep. And there is a market. You can set limit orders now. And so you can actually trade, like set limit orders. And I don't know if you can do stop losses.
On anything that's in Uniswap?
Yeah, on Uniswap. I can't remember what the site is right now.
Uniswapx.com.
Uniswap.com.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the link to that. I want to put it in the.
Yeah, I'll put it. I'll try to find it. Uniswap X.
Well, I don't know. If you try to use any other decentralized exchange, they're all just crap. Like no liquidity. Like, but it makes it so easy. It's one click.
Oh, it's Uniswap. Uniswapx.io. I'll post, or I'm gonna send it to you, RG3, in Telegram. I don't know if you've.
I'll put it in the channel there.
There you go.
So another thing, everybody that's tuning in or watching, listening, whatever. The channel is going to put our guests, the people that come on with us, want to give their shill links, their referral links. We're going to post them down there. So if you like what they're saying, go to their referral links. If you're new to Hex and you're coming in, our guests here have referral links that you and them can earn extra Hex by clicking on that link. And the channel itself, myself, Lightcoin Moses, and Hexologist have sat down and talked. And anything that comes through this channel, any earnings that we get through the YouTube channel, is all going to go towards something for the community, for the Hex community, come big payday. So we're going to take it to Miami. So whatever the channel brings in, we're going to try and do something if there's enough in there to do something for the community.
Speaking of Miami, Ryan, do you have anything like? I know that you're kind of, I mean, you're
the Miami guy.
He's the Miami guy. He's got the chat channel on Telegram if anybody wants to go join it.
Yeah, well, the thing is, I was trying to kind of plan it, and we started planning it, and I have a form, I have a Google form. If you guys are interested, go ahead and fill it out. Just if you want to come, whatever, just so we know on the list. But all this stuff happening in the world now, and travel being banned and everything, so it's if things are cleared up by the end of the year, I would still like to have it, but for now, it's kind of not. It's not really postponed, but it's just kind of.
It's up in the air.
Yeah, it's up in the air. But if things get better by the end of the year, let's do it. Let's go to Miami. We'll be making whatever live streams, vlogs. We'll have our steak dinner with steaks.
We'll invite Tone Bays.
No, that's a good idea. I mean, if things aren't cleared up by big payday, then we'll push it out. We'll just push it out, and the community will come together and say what day we should do it on as things start to clear up. And and maybe it might even be a better idea to do it in the summertime in Miami, and have a real rocking time out there.
Yeah,
because I know it's fun in Florida, man. I love it out there.
Oh yeah, me. Yeah, I'm hoping that they open up international travel again soon. It's kind of weird. Everything's just kind of closed off. But I mean, hopefully, I'm hoping in a few months everything will kind of be back to kind of open again. Hopefully, so
it's like Cancun.
Yeah, Cancun, Mexico. I've never been to Cancun before.
Me neither.
Yeah, I'm in Mexico right now in Monterrey. I just got down to Mexico about like a week ago, and it was kind of weird because I was driving down, and I had all my car packed with all my things, and I'm driving. It's like, all right, I'm driving to the border. My car is packed. What the heck is going on? And I'm checking my phone, and I'm like, oh my God, what is going on with Hex? It's just like, and it was just going ham. I was like, what the. Like, yo, what is going on? I'm driving to the Mexican border, and I'm like, holy shit, it just keeps going. And I'm like, what the heck is going on right now?
But it's crazy. It's crazy.
Live off the interest down there, couldn't you? Just a
little bit better. Yeah, that interest goes a little farther.
Yeah, it's it's a lot more cheaper here. The Airbnbs, I think, for this month, it's $450 for a 2-bedroom
for a month.
So. Yeah, for a month. And yesterday we went to Walmart and stocked up on some things, and like I bought a lot of stuff, and it came out to like $10.
Nice.
So I mean, it's like a pretty. The U.S. dollar seems to be kind of stronger in some other kind of like third world country-ish or like different, and like Central America, Latin America. It seems it's kind of stronger, I think, right now. But so yeah, for right now, just kind of just kind of hanging out and saving money for just here in Mexico and hoping everything kind of opens up soon,
Yeah, the dollar's going to stay strong, especially against the peso until probably like the election. It's crushing. The U.S. dollar is crushing all the other currencies right now.
It's killing it, and it's crazy. I feel bad for the people who are like working and like at the Walmart, and they're getting paid in Mexican pesos, and it's like, oh my God, that sucks,
Yeah. Like the average person in Mexico probably makes anywhere from like 100 to 200 fucking pesos a day, killing themselves as labor, man. It's terrible, dude.
It's horrible.
Fucking like less. It's a little under $20 because the dollar got strong. Right now, the conversion rate's like 23 pesos per dollar, right?
25.
Fuck.
Oh, jeez. So they're making like $17, $15 a day.
Yeah, it's real. That's why everyone wants to be a narco out there. I mean, not because they want to do anything bad. It's just they need to make money.
Make money.
Yeah,
it's
the best way to make money.
And then plus, anyway, like there are gonna be people who have money there, so they want to be flashy and you want to get girls, right? So what do you have to do? I mean, I mean, it's like over here too, like especially like why was gangbanging so cool back in the 90s and shit? Because it was the only way people could get money to like get girls. Yeah. It always has to do with girls, dude. Always.
Yeah.
With you young ones. With you young bucks.
Boy, I feel it's a weird time. Like, now it's like kind of weird trying to like meet girls or whatever, because it's like everything's kind of closed. You can't really meet them in person. You can try to use like Tinder or Bumble. But then it's
you can get on Telegram. There's some girls on there, guys.
Oh yeah,
super real girls.
No,
send them your hex address.
Guys,
mentiras.
Guys, women are going to be the death
wallet
of each and every one of you. You got to understand that.
I thought the trait of a successful man is that he can out earn his wife's spending.
It never happens. It never happens.
For real. That's hilarious.
You guys.
Yeah, so I think right now it's just Tinder and Bumble. That's the only way to meet people. And then from there, like, are you really even going to meet up with the girl in person? Because she's so freaked out about just staying at home. And it's just like, these are really weird times for the world right now. It's just like, but
you just got to throw that bichotazo, man. She'll go out
there. I'd be going nuts if I was a 20-year-old guy hanging out at my house for months.
Yeah.
Holy
well, at least
crap.
you got the at least you got your the computer for you.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, at least it wasn't 30 years ago when you had to be like,
all we had was we had a
really get down
lotion and a freaking flip book. It was on paper, guys. We did it on paper.
Yeah. Let me talk about Mexicans in Mexico. They don't give a fuck, dude. If they're gonna party, they're gonna party, dude. You'll hear the party a fucking block away with all the fucking music.
Yeah. It seems like the overall vibe, it's been kind of chill. They seem like they're just kind of following orders, and everyone when they leave they have their masks on and but everyone seems kind of calm. But when I was in the U.S., it seemed like maybe a little bit more on edge. But supposedly there are more cases there and stuff. But it is what it is, and just kind of got to go with it and just kind of stay positive during these times.
Yeah.
So here's what we got to do as far as the women thing. We should start inviting all the women that are in the Telegram chat onto the show so that we can see if there actually are women.
Suddenly go very quiet.
I don't know what I can't. I don't have a video camera. I don't know what you're talking about. No,
it's actually a good question. Are there any females that are actually in Hex?
Well, there's some that
you never know.
Are definitely tipping somebody that might be a girl in Telegram.
I'd love to get one of the ladies on Hex. Like one of the OGs, like Sweet Hex, right? Sweet Hex is on the Telegram all the time. I think
Linda. Get Linda on.
There's a Jessica in chat.
Yeah. I think that's a bot.
It's a bot.
I'm serious.
I don't.
That one girl's been getting those boys crazy.
There's no girls on the internet. Like I just treat everybody like a guy. That's what I always try to do. There's no girls. If for some reason they do it and they show that they are a girl, like coming onto a live stream like this, then I'll believe it. But other than that, no, I don't believe anybody's a girl because people like
there's one girl I saw in Hex like in the early kind of months. What was her name? Noise?
Yeah. Nod Nonce.
Nonce.
No, not Nonce. Yeah, Nonce.
Her, but that's I don't. Is Sweet Hex a girl or is that a real person?
Dude, I'm mad disappointed in some of the dudes in the Hex community. How the fuck can y'all be simping so bad? Why y'all simping? Bro, what is going on right now, bro? Like, there's nothing wrong with giving a tip to somebody for doing a good job in Hex, but like, oh, you girl, here's my Hex.
Come on, that's what you all do. So shut up. In one way or another, you're simp. You're all paying for it, just like me.
But at least you're fucking boning down, bro. I mean, dude.
Be married for 20 years. Tell me what it's like.
For the guys that are paying them, but
just let me let you guys in on a big secret, right? Get married, see what happens. Yeah, you laugh now.
We can afford 4K cams with these games they're getting. Sims.
Exactly.
4K cams.
Well, at least.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
At least we know. So Nonce, Node Nonce is a girl. Sweet Hex maybe is a girl. And is there somebody else in Hex?
That's Ariana.
Who's Serena? Serena Alonzi.
Yeah, I saw. She's real. I saw her.
Okay.
Yeah. I saw her too. Maybe we can get her on.
Yeah.
People coming out the woodwork with the list right now. Holy
I only saw one of her videos, so I'm gonna put her on the list. Serena Alonzi. She's also one of the community. She did a good video.
I'm pretty sure Jessica is a bot, and I think there's a couple other big girl bots.
No, Jessica DM me. We have a thing. She really does like me, so knock it off.
Dude, Jessica's literally in the room next to me. Like, she's actually my girlfriend. So stay back.
There's gonna be a new simple economy called Only Hex or Only Steak.
You can go tip them there. Just girl.
Only Steaks. I'm an Only Steaks.
It's gotta be Staker.
Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Right on, right on.
Oh.
Well, what else we got going on? Anything going on? Serenity Code.
Got my show going. Couple
Are there any of you women in the chat?
Oh, like they're gonna tell you they're correct. You know, something
now after all this shit.
Tip me.
We don't have a tip bot on there.
That's what I would do. I wasn't doing. That's what I would do. I mean, you guys change profile pictures in Telegram as to girls just so you get more tips. Seems to have worked.
Hey, I did that one time. I changed it over to a girl's picture, and I got like molested when I went back in the chat. That was like when we had that moonshot, and we were rolling, and the chat was just blowing up with new people and stuff, and they were all over that one new girl, and I jumped in there with a picture, and it was like I felt dirty. I had to wash off afterwards.
Yeah.
What's your guys' so if we have to predict or whatever, when do you guys think a time frame of when we'll hit a penny? Because I feel like a penny is the next. That's a big psychological kind of like target. That's a big one, and we're only a third of the way. But we do have some more economic kind of mass now, so it's getting a little bit harder to grow. But I mean, when do you guys think that we might see a penny?
I think Ethereum is going to take us to a penny. I think we're really overbought on Hex Ethereum.
Okay.
Like, I think if Ethereum starts a bull run, that will take us to a penny. Like maybe 3 months from now.
3 months.
Yeah. I don't know.
I'm saying them.
End of May, June.
Yeah, I'm gonna say
just a week ago, or 1,000th of it. Yeah, 1,000th of $1 just a couple of weeks ago. So, and that's 3x of where we were there. 3x from where we're at now will take us to a penny. So I'm saying a month.
A month, yeah. I'm gonna say in May. I think maybe even the first 2 or 3 weeks of May. I think we'll see a penny. So I think everything's getting hot. Like and like Talk Hex said. Ethereum, I feel like it's bubbling. Things are starting to bubble. Yeah. It's getting like things are getting hot.
Well, if we start seeing that, Bitcoin, altcoin, swing again as things start to move up from the halvening FOMO, whatever you want to call this, it's happening right now. Then, that's where we'll start seeing some pump.
I mean, it got 12 days until the halvening?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 12 days.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
I just think that's going to be like, that's just my opinion.
Yeah,
dude, how crazy would it be? So there could be this whole thing where they counter trade it, where like everyone expects the halvening to like right after the halvening it just dumps down. Watch they just bull run for 2 weeks and dump down just to fucking like kill everyone's longs or shorts.
Bear trap them,
just wipe them out again. Bear trap them, bear trap.
Scam wicks
or a bull trap.
Trade on
a bull trap and then a bear trap with another pop and then boom down into the bottom.
Gosh. Yeah, because it seems like the price, like crypto, I guess it's somewhat correlated to like the stock market. I guess, because last time the stock market just dumped and crypto just freaking dumped. But Hex did hold its ground. But I think, the market's just they're based off of human kind of like emotions, and people, when there's fear in the stock market stuff, in the alternative assets like crypto, they were like, oh my God, I got to get out. I need to get my money. So I mean, I don't know. Maybe there could be some we could see if the stock market just completely tanks. Maybe crypto could dip with it. Maybe, I don't know.
Well, that's what I think it already crazy is like when all this stuff starts opening back up, like what will Hex? I mean, Hex went up 50x and while the pandemic was going. Like, what's it gonna do when things start opening up? Getting money back into the markets like that. Like if we pump during a pandemic, like there's gonna be some. I think that might be a pumpage in the right after everything starts opening back up.
Yeah,
this is just with Trump bucks right now.
Yeah, you got the Trump bucks in there. They might give you. We might be getting even more of those. So
most of those checks haven't even come out yet. Like at least here in California, like I hear most people are going to get their first checks in May or something.
I got mine already.
Oh,
yeah,
I don't know. That's what I heard.
But I was on direct deposit for my taxes, so they just sent it.
Same.
They sent it to me, so I got it right off the bat, like weeks ago.
I've heard that they're doing other ones now for like homeowners or renters or
well,
I don't even know.
I think that what they really should have done is like put a moratorium, but of course the banks weren't going to go for it and just say, hey, look, nobody pays mortgage payments for 2 months or whatever, and then just balloon payment at the end of their mortgage, because they were going to do that, but they were like, okay, so we're going to give everybody a 2-month mortgage reprieve, but then they said you had to come up with it on the 3rd month, so you were going to have to pay 3 months of mortgage, with you're not going to be making any money. You're sitting in your house for 2 months, and then boom, they're going to hit you up for 3 months of mortgage payments. How the fuck is that supposed to work?
It's all messed up now. I feel like they're just making up rules as we go along. Like, oh, we're gonna do this, okay? I'm just trying.
The banks, they want to see how they're going to be positioned in it.
Yeah, I'm trying to just get out of that system. I have a little bit of money in my 401k. That's all I have, and I've been trying to get it out for literally 3 months, trying to get my money out of my 401k. It's so freaking hard. It's just like, I can't even get it out. Every 401k, it has like different rules. Every single one has its own kind of customized rules. Mine happens to be where you can't take anything. You can't, unless I get terminated or quit my job, unless I turn age 65, or if I have a hardship, I can't take it out. And it's just like, it's like, man, well, I guess my money is just stuck in there. So
I don't know about that, dude. You have access to it. You get penalties, but you have access to it.
I tried. I'm like multiple times contacting them. I even had my landlord write me an official letter with the letterhead saying, please let this fine gentleman Ryan, he's been on time for his payment, use this as a
emergency
hardship.
and stake.
We can't put the 401k. I'm trying to emergency stake my 401k, and it's so hard.
Shit, those are all 101ks now.
101s.
Ain't worth a shit.
Yeah. Do you guys have Twitters?
Yeah.
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 Okay, I'll add you guys later. Yeah, I didn't I don't think I have. No, I think I follow you. TalkHex. I think I have you on Twitter.
Oh, TalkHex. Am I following you?
Let me see. I'm about to pull up my Twitter right now.
TalkHex.
Let me
just TalkHex.
Let me whip out my Twitter.
And then there's TalkHex too.
It's number 1.
Okay, there we go.
It's number 1.
I think I got you.
Toby.
Yeah, that's me.
Cool. And let me see. Litecoin Moses.
Just follow me. I'll follow right back as soon as we're off.
There's 2 of them. Yeah, there's 2 Litecoin Moseses. But you guys talk like you guys are boys.
Is that you, man? Is that you, Lightcoin Moses? No XRP. Is that you?
No, that's the other dude.
No.
Who's that guy?
He's
this other Litecoin? Like literally, just we found out about each other randomly. Like, but, he's
a brother,
dude.
right?
He used to be a boxer. Yeah, he used to be a boxer and stuff, man. Cool dude.
Oh, really?
Where did
talk to him. Yeah, he's
come from?
I think he's out here in Cali too.
Where did that name come from?
Yeah. Other
than Litecoin part. Well, it's because I was talking about Litecoin, what was it, probably February, March, and I was saying like, oh, this thing's gonna go to $200 when it was like, I think it was $8 or something, or $11, and then I was like, come on, you guys, like, this thing's gonna go like this. Follow, like, I was just basically doing the whole parable of like Moses, how he led the people through the desert for 40 years, right? And then it's just like, the name just kind of stuck and shit. And then I was like, all right, fuck it, I'll go with Litecoin Moses. Like, and like, like I used to say this one thing for like a month in crypto is like a year in the real world. And like Moses like led everyone through the desert for 40 years. So I was like, oh, okay. So in 5 years, I'll have everyone out of here to the promised land.
Oh, I love crypto's not stressful meme. With the dude that's like aged 40 years.
Oh yeah.
Crypto, like the swings in crypto are so crazy, and the FUD that comes along with it, it's just like, it's really like, whoa,
Yes, the FUD was always fun back in the day.
That was some crazy FUD. I think that was the hardest FUD I've ever seen.
Well, it's and like you saw so many people like me and Ryan. I think we might be the only guys that I saw start up. Well, I mean, you already had your YouTube, but like how we started it, and then people just like there were so many that started on day one, and then they just all kind of none of them are there anymore. There's very few.
Yeah.
Well, like
Oh, it's just
when I got in, that was the only you and him were the only ones in. So I was watching his, and I was like, what the hell?
like, what the heck is that?
Yeah.
Well, you know what? Speaking of people who got in early, have you guys heard from Hex Vision at all?
Hex.
That's the guy
no, he closed his YouTube, right? And then
he got wrecked though because of the whole FUD thing, right?
I think he fell for it.
Oh no, Hex Vision, Hex Dot Vision, or maybe
Hex Vision, the guy who used to walk through the forest.
yeah. I don't know.
I thought you guys were talking about Paul.
No,
he just said that he wasn't really interested in Hex anymore. He gave away his website and everything.
yeah.
That's crazy.
I think
it's crazy.
He put the referral link on his site, and they deleted everything that he had, all of his work.
It's crazy how you know, people can be so into it and then all of a sudden just completely out. And it's just
I think he said he spent so much money. I think he said he spent more money than he made in referrals. But like, if you see that, like his referrals probably worth so much now. So.
Yeah. Well, and he also like he FOMO'd almost. I think he FOMO'd his whole stack in on day one.
he went.
So that was one of those stacks.
You know. Which I could see if you went, you put in $5,000, it's $100. You're like, oh, geez, never mind.
So you had that and the FUD like crawling up your ass. So that was like,
yeah.
Oof,
there's another guy too, phone Hex, the guy with the long-haired guy.
Oh, Phone Inf.
What is it?
That's Andrian. That's his real name's Andrian.
Oh, Adrian.
Adrian. He does DTube videos, right?
DTuber. Yeah, he's another one. What's that?
The Swedish guy?
Yeah.
I don't know if he's Swedish or not.
Yeah.
I think he is.
He still does videos.
Yeah.
He posts like something like on Twitter every 5 minutes.
He's on Twitter posting all the time,
Yeah.
He seems like he's pretty. I like the way his kind of thought process of how he kind of talks through things and kind of
smart guy.
Yeah, he seems pretty cool.
Yeah, you should write him down. Try and get him on.
Yeah.
Yep. See if he can come on.
I think Paul was the first person I ever interviewed about Hex. I think
Paul from StakeHex.
From StakeHex.
From StakeHex, I think. Yeah.
Man, I think he's still lurking around, but he's obviously not doing stuff.
He left, right? Didn't he?
Yeah.
Like,
he's
like, beware before you stake Hex. Now that's his
yeah. That's crazy.
Do your own research before you stake Hex. Yeah.
Yeah, and same with Hexstat. Man, his site was really cool, and that guy seems like he knows kind of the like Etherscan stuff really to put it together. He kind of left.
He's partnered with the other guy now.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm sorry, nothing's topping Hex Live for me anymore. Hex Live is like
Hex Live
freaking shit.
Yeah.
That site is just, and he keeps improving it all the time. And
that's an awesome one.
In the comment,
Firebun site.
He said, Hex.live. It's Steph. But
Steph.
His name's Steph. Okay.
Three things that he wants to build on top of Hex. That he's got it. Like,
oh, really?
Yeah.
Really?
Got about 3
Where's
things.
that?
Well, whatever that dude does is going to be good because he killed it with his site, man. That thing it's aesthetically very, very pleasing. I mean, when he first launched it, it was like, oh, this is going to be cool. And then as he's added to it, it's just getting better and better. The chart is freaking amazing. I love turning it on when I'm in my room and in the dark or whatever. And you turn that chart on, it's just freaking badass.
Yeah. I saw recently he added like the 50x or like
man.
That was a really cool chart.
And when you pull it up, you see how much money you got in there on your how much Hex you have and what the dollar amount is right under it. It's badass.
The leagues that you're in. That's so
and the leagues too. He did really good with that.
There's one feature which I don't think anyone's made again. I think it's on Hex.vision, but it's a bit confusing. Like on hexstat.com, there was a really good chart for active stakes that you could like zoom in on and look at. It's like
Hex info? Are you talking about Hex info?
No, it was on hexstat.com, but it was for all addresses, not just like one address.
Oh, so was it like all the active stakes and when they're ending?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's on hex.vision, but you might have to kind of.
It's just a bit more complicated, right?
Yeah. I know somebody that's building some stuff on top of Hex. I don't really want to no Hex expectations here.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're going to come out with something that looks pretty much very similar to that with the Hex.
That's cool.
Well, I think I saw
Hex.
Yeah, isn't somebody building something for the phone like Hex Mobile?
Hex.
Oh, dude, that's awesome. That's big. Yeah.
Hex Business and then Hex something.
I think Michael's making Hex Mobile. I think it's coming out this week for iOS and Android, or next week.
Wow, that's gonna be big.
You can enter the AA. Like I think you can store and stake your Hex as well, like as like using the open source Ethereum wallet. So I think that's huge.
Yeah, that's I think that will be like the big thing that'll help with Hex is getting a mobile app that you can actually do all that stuff with.
Yeah.
Hook it to your wallet and be able to move stuff around through Uni and all that. Because you could use Uni on mobile, right?
It's kind of hard.
I've seen you can use it through Trust Wallet.
Oh, Trust Wallet is that?
So, and that's you can also. The reason I found out is because you can buy collectibles on Trust Wallet for Decentraland, but it works for you can hold your Hex on that wallet and go buy stuff on Uniswap through it too. It's really cool. It's the only mobile wallet I've seen that's actually worked for both projects, and I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah,
that changed. That's a game changer because like before, you're stuck to either a computer or laptop. Now I've been able to get everything on the go. Yeah,
I mean, you know what's cool, guys, is that all these bitchin'
cool
technologies and onboarding tools and all that are here. They don't all like Wire. It doesn't work properly yet, but all these things are here already in the beginning of the project that, they're only going to improve. They're only going to get better. And we're just going to see but the basics are the bases there, the decentralized exchange, the onboarding, all those things are starting to happen. And I mean, within a year's time, all these things are going to start, really dialing in. And before you know it, you'll be able to just onboard right from your phone, boom, trade, get on stake, whatever. I mean, it's going to be bitchy.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like I've been in a lot of different projects, a lot of different coins throughout whatever, but man, with Hex, like there's just so many things being built. It's crazy. And there's a lot of really talented people making these things. Like these are people that are very, very intelligent. So like they're very intelligent, they're very technical. And they're focusing their energy and their effort into like helping out the ecosystem. So I mean that should show kind of a lot, that really shows what it's,
Yep. And I think it's the referral program. Like honestly, it's got to be because of the referral program, which I hope that after the referral or the big payday ends and all of this stuff, I hope that there's like that somebody builds on top of Hex or like for a Uniswap referral. So you can get some
keep it going,
because I think that if you take away that referral, it kind of de-incentivizes people to actually do anything. Because right now it's like, okay, let's build a bunch of stuff. Once the referrals, dry up and stuff like that, a lot of people, we've seen throughout the days, throughout the last 150 days, like after the referrals end and they start drying up, people are like, "Man, I'm
out of here.
I'm out."
Yep.
That are pretty.
Then all that's going to be left is us old OGers pumping our bags. Pumping our bags, baby.
Pump it.
Yeah.
Right on. Anything else we got to throw down because we're going on 2 hours, man. I don't want to freaking make people hate us.
I got to go get ready for news, the old sweet news.
Oh yeah, that's why I didn't say anything about numbers and stuff. I want to leave that to your show today because that's going to be exciting. There's some good shit happening in the last.
I had the share price explainer, but I think I'll just forward that to Telegram.
You know what? Why don't you go ahead and talk about that real quick? I mean, that's what you came on for. You want me to pull that up for you?
Yeah, if you could.
Okay, hold on a second. So, go ahead and start talking about what you're going to do.
It's just I don't know. I think the biggest question I keep seeing is about shares. People don't really get it, like share price as well. And there was a discussion in the Telegram group about how will anyone ever beat the ROI of a guy who does a 555 stake through big payday.
It is really even to like somebody like me trying to explain it. It's like I don't know.
Yeah. So I think I've made a little thing that kind of explains how the share price changes. Because, yeah, so the question that came up in Telegram was how will anyone ever beat the ROI of someone who does a 5555 stake over big payday? Like, surely the share price would stay stagnant after that. But Kyle provided a good explanation that I've put up in my.
You want me to pull this up for you?
Yeah, if you can.
Oh, nice.
So I've put two scenarios of like how the share price changes. So on scenario one, like share price, that's actually hex per share. On go.hex.win, you're actually looking at shares per hex. It's just inverted, but it means the same thing. So in scenario one, if you stake 250x at a share price of 10, you'll receive 25 shares. And then the way that it increases is at the end, if your payout totals like 500, for example, to buy back those 25 shares, the share price needs to increase to 20 because 500 divided by 25 is 20. And now, so that would change the share price. If someone else ends like a big, huge stake while your stake's active and it goes to like the share price is 60, the share price just doesn't change when you end that sort of stake because the ROI was lower. But then in scenario two, let's take that share price of 20 from scenario one. If you then stake 200 hex and get 10 shares because of the share price, and then let's say you end stake and your total payout's 220, again, then to make that share price go up, you need to just divide it by the share price at the beginning. And so the share price would go to 22. So even though the ROI on the top scenario is higher, it's 100%, and in scenario two, it's only 10%, both result in an increased share price. So it's not technically the highest ROI. It's not technically based on the highest ROI that the system's ever seen. It's actually more like you're buying the highest ROI off of the previous highest stake and then making ROI on top of that.
Yeah, it makes it so you can't ever get that return anymore. Like if you unstake, you're never going to be able to get that if you're the highest. Yeah.
So me and Paxton were having this conversation. Like we're like, oh, the share rate might never change if someone makes this huge ROI, but actually it's ROI on top of ROI. So yeah, thanks to Kyle for explaining that. But that's kind of how the share rate works.
Nice. Yeah. And also in the Telegram before, if you do like exclamation point shares or maybe exclamation point share, it brings up like a link to a video of Richard that he linked of him talking about the share price. And I watched it before, and he said like he explained in what in his words, and he said in his words it was like it's going to change because of profit inputs from big payday. So I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, realized ROI.
The first person that ends stake after the big payday will set the share rate super high.
Mm-hmm.
And then which
will make it like
higher
1.5x. He says like 1.5x of the share rate.
Yeah.
Man, well, I guess we all better get our shares in now, right? Like, time to buy some more shares.
See, I hear a lot of people not talking about like the interest you accrue from big payday. That then compounds for the rest of your stake. Like it's
compounding interest.
Oh my god!
Realize
because you've got that higher share price. Yeah.
This is
insane, dude. Anyway, guys, I've got to jump off.
Yep.
So,
I gotta go too.
Yeah, we're getting ready to shut it down. Thanks for coming on, guys. We appreciate you. Thanks to the community for showing up and supporting. Remember to support all the other YouTubers out there. Hexo and Litecoin. Thank you, guys. My bros. Let's we've got I think on Sunday we've got Bitcoin for Life coming on. He's actually going to show his face and
can you guys hear me?
Hang with us.
Yeah.
And then next week Kyle's going to actually come on. So all of you out there who have some specific questions for Kyle, I mean that's going to be a day where you're going to have him there.
Is that Sunday? Sundays he's going to be on?
Next Thursday, we're going to switch the day up to fit in his schedule. So next Thursday, we're going to have Kyle on, and you'll be able to ask him questions and dig into the the dev mine there. So,
Mm-hmm.
All right, everybody. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll catch you
later, guys.
See you guys
on the next one. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.